If you are sitting there and you're not telling people how you actually feel, but then you go and use it against them because they're hard to talk to, the only person's fault that is yours. I'm not gonna hang out with someone that I don't fuck with, but it's a lot of people that I seem to be attracting, unfortunately, that don't fuck with me, but will continue to smile in my fucking face. They can literally say, oh my god, girl, I love you, I love you, I love you, while basically saying they fucking hate you with their actions. The reality that I desire, where I am living my best fucking life, exists. But certain people cannot be in that reality because it disrupts the flow.
No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing.
Jumbo everyone, welcome or welcome back, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Diary of a Loud Angry Black Woman and the microaggressions that I've experienced lately. So without further ado, let's get started. So I know y'all are like, ooh, okay, title kind of ate. I did take a little bit of inspiration from Diary of a Mad Black Woman, the Medea movie. In this aspect of the video, I did want to talk about some microaggressions that I've experienced lately and just kind of like falling out with some people. I'm gonna be honest here. This is my channel. I'm more than welcome to talk about whatever I want on it, and if you have an issue with it, you can click off. Nobody's forcing you to watch the video. At the same time, I think that just with who I am as a black woman, I think that just with friendships and people that I've been friends with, aka people who are not black, have continued to perpetuate the angry black woman stereotype on me, and I'm sick of it. I need to speak up and say something about it. Yes, I am a loud black woman, and I have no issue with saying that. I'm opinionated, and a lot of people don't like that, and a lot of people also don't like the fact on how I necessarily express my emotions, but at least I express them instead of just holding them in. It also is just a little bit frustrating with growing up in suburbia that a lot of my friends are non-black. I've always been the type of person to be kind of friends with everybody, so I was friends with Asians, Hispanics, like basically everyone. At the same time, I still don't really have like a close black friend. Abby is my close friend, and y'all all know that, but I have expressed to her, and she already knows this, that a lot of my friends already have a best friend, and that just to me is a little bit hard. I say this in every single video, but if you're new here, we're working with natural lighting, so it's going to be fluctuating throughout the video, so please ignore that. But like I said, it does remind me of that SZA song on being black and growing up in suburbia, because people don't actually understand who you are and how you express your emotions as a black woman. And I think that's something, a pattern that I've been experiencing lately, especially with people that I've grown up with, but at the same time people who have met me in adulthood and still continue to perpetuate that stereotype against me. Like I said, one of the patterns that is consistently showing up within these friendships is the fact that they're saying that they're scared of me and that they're intimidated to come and tell me how they feel about me. More specifically, the issues that they have with me, and they don't want to bring it up. I personally have never understood, maybe it's just me being a confrontational person, seeing how non-confrontation gets you nowhere, okay? You sitting there and holding up all your feelings and bottling them all up, that has nothing to do with me, and I just want to make that clear. I understand sometimes, a lot of the times, I can be overbearing. Don't get me wrong. I have grown up in suburbia. I have had people tell me about myself, and you think I don't know that? I know I'm bossy. I know I like things my own way. I know who I am as a person. At the same time, it takes a very strong individual to also put me in my place, and at the same time, I will reference her over and over and over again, because if one of my friends can do this, then all of my friends can do this. If one of my friends, aka Abby, can put me in my place when I say something rude to her or something that she doesn't like, and tell me that if you continue to talk to me that way, I'm not going to come to you with this type of issue or this type of topic. Whoa, I didn't even know I was talking to you like that, friend. Thank you for letting me know so I don't continue on with that in the future. You see how easy that was? As uncomfortable as it is, you have to tell people how you actually feel, or else it's your fault. And I will stand by that. If you are sitting there and you're not telling people how you actually feel, but then you go and use it against them because they're hard to talk to, the only person's fault that is yours. Saying that I scare you and saying that I intimidate you is perpetuating the angry black woman stereotype. I don't know how that's so hard to see. I don't know where people are getting this narrative that if they come and express to me how they feel, that I'm gonna beat their fucking ass. Reese Ireland, who has never been in a fucking fight before. When have I ever laid hands on someone for them coming and telling me how they feel about me? So not only if you're saying that you're scared of me and you're scared of telling your feelings to me, that's already having an implicit bias on me on who you think I am as a person. More specifically, that's your subconscious. If you're genuinely scared to go and talk to someone that you've been friends with for years because you're scared of how they'll react, again, that's your fault. You can't control how other people react, but you can control how you react. That is one of the hardest things I had to learn in therapy. And even with not being in therapy going on damn near 2 years now, it's fucking hard. It's hard not being able to talk to someone and to allow that person to eat you up when you're in the wrong. At the same time, I feel like enough people don't hold me accountable, aka my friends don't hold me accountable, so then they use that against me to say that they have an issue with me that they never brought up to me in the first place, so then I'm blindsided. Like, where was this even brought up? This TikTok is deep in my repost, so I'm not going to be able to find it, but it resonated with me because I feel like I've just lost so many friendships throughout the years. And of course you feel like you're the problem friend. Of course you're like, why can't I maintain friendships? And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I have no blame when it comes to how these friendships ended. At the same time, what I have recognized is that when I fall off with people, they're the ones to come back to me and apologize to me of the issues that they had and not communicating properly and all that stuff. And I've had to tell people as I've grown older, I can't be friends with you. Thank you for the apology. Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't be friends with you. You made me feel like being myself and who I am and who you know who the fuck I am. You know who the fuck I was when you met me. Like, I'm gonna keep referencing, I think it's Kevin Gates, I'm gonna keep referencing him. But it's like, you knew who I was when you met me. You have been friends with me for years, so I really don't understand what's not clicking. But like I said, of course, you know, when you fall out with so many people over the years, you start to think that you're the problem friend, that you're the one who can never keep a friendship. You're the one who is always running into conflict. But also what she said in that video resonated with me so hard, because if you're not a confrontational person, you wouldn't understand. This lighting is going to be the deaf. Do y'all see this? But with her saying that, it resonated with me because I have been friends with people who are avoidant and non-confrontational and will sit there and won't have an issue with me until I bring up an issue, and then it's a dog pile of issues that you've had with me for this amount of time and you've been holding on to it so hard just so I could do something wrong so you could have a reason to bring it up in the first place. I don't do that. I don't understand people who will hold resentment against their friends, wait for them to do something wrong, and then be like, exactly, that's exactly why I'm not your fucking friend, because da-da-da-da, and you're telling me all these issues that you've had with me, that you've been had with me, but you're the same person hanging out with me, making plans. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand people who hang out with people they don't like. Just like, maybe that's because I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna hang out with someone that I don't fuck with, but it's a lot of people that I seem to be attracting, unfortunately, that don't fuck with me, but will continue to smile in my fucking face. Of course, I don't want somebody to address the issue like right in the moment. If you need time to process, because people would hold that against me as well. I would address something in the issue and then I would be, oh, you always have an issue, da da da. But then I would wait and let it process. Well, why didn't you bring it up when it happened? Why are you waiting until now? I can't fucking win. I can't win. And with some people, you genuinely can never win. Y'all, buckle the fuck up because this video is gonna be long as fuck, okay? I've been holding all this in, no pun intended. I've been holding all this in because I feel like YouTube is really my only outlet where I can go and rant and also have people be like, girl, I go through the same thing. And y'all know how I feel about long form versus short form. I can get so much more of my feelings out in a 30-minute video than in a 1-minute video where people don't have the attention span to even watch it. So like I said, we're gonna be yapping in this video for all my black girls who are misunderstood, especially when it comes to friendship. One thing about me, even if you talk to the people that I fall out with, I don't know who's going and talking to them, but like I said, even if you go and tell them, I don't fuck with conflict. If we have an issue, let's talk it out, bro. Even way back then when I was a kid and Abby and I would be tussling fucking back in elementary school, we would sit on the phone for fucking 2 to 4 hours. Our parents would have to yell at us to get off the phone because we would sit there and dissect every single thing that we didn't like and the things that we were going to fix within our friendship going forward. Even if Abby and I had the emotional intelligence to do that as children, what makes you think that that isn't going to follow me into adulthood and I'm gonna want to talk the issue out? I don't like conflict, especially, I'll talk about it a little bit later, as being an empath, okay? When you're an empath and conflict is happening, it literally feels like my heart is like, I can feel it in my body. So like I said, if I can have a 20-minute uncomfortable conversation to get the conflict out the way, I'd much rather do that than have days and days of tension where we're not talking about this. I don't like that. I'm not gonna keep kissing your ass and always be the one coming to you to try to figure out this conflict, because you should want to fix it just as much as I do. This part also confuses me. Why do y'all think that going to every other person but the person that you have an issue with is going to solve the issue? I'm gonna give you a minute. Because make it make sense. Make it make sense how you're gonna resolve any type of conflict going to everybody else but the person that you have an issue with. I don't understand. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for going and talking to people and being like, hey, I need your opinion on this situation. How would I go about it? But when you're going to over 2-3 people about the issue that you have with me, instead of just addressing me, I'm done. There's nothing else that I can do in that moment, because you're literally telling me the people that you prioritize, you'd much rather go and get everybody else's opinion but the person that you have a problem with. Drink your water. Guys, look at my new water bottle. Actions speak louder than words, which seems like a painful lesson that I continue to learn over and over again. And I think that sometimes I have such great conversation with people and love the dynamic that we have that I often overlook the red flags that these people are literally telling me that I don't fuck with you in your face. They can literally say, oh my god girl, I love you, I love you, I love you, while basically saying they fucking hate you with their actions. So I'm sick of following people's words because your words don't mean shit to me. It's your actions and how you actually show up for me. I'm so sick of overextending myself, and I think that, you know, I'm done pouring into other people. As selfish as that may say, I'm pouring into people who are pouring into me, but like I just have to recognize that I'm okay with going into my hermit mode and really focusing on myself and knowing who I want to be and journaling and becoming the best version of myself than constantly trying to ask people to hang out, constantly trying to chase. Going into adulthood, I get it. Everybody's schedules are busy. At the same time, I just want to make friendships organically. I think that it's hard to have coworkers as friendships sometimes just because it's like that shit gets a little messy. You cannot tell me how you feel about me as a person. That's on you. And I will keep saying that. I will keep saying that because for me, who is such an open person who loves to communicate, loves to talk through issues, if you can't even give me that grace of talking to me about an issue that you have and you're going to hold it against me, I have no respect. I'm going to be going on a little story time just because of how I definitely experienced some of these microaggressions, because I don't understand why people can't just tell me no. I'm not going to beat your ass if you tell me no. I'm not going to beat your ass if you tell me that you just wanted to be you and this other person. I don't care. What I care about is you being honest with me instead of you leading me along. So the first issue, and I will be putting proof up because you're not going to sit here and gaslight me and say that I'm doing too much when I literally tried to uninvite myself. Anyways, moral of the story. I had self-invited myself to a hangout with this person, and y'all don't understand. Like, people who understand, but with being an empath, yes, I'm a bitch sometimes, but with being an empath, you feel everything, okay? When my ex and I would get into a fight or when we would have tension, my whole body would just feel it. Even when I would touch him, just feel it. So when I tell you that if I'm in the same vicinity as you, and another thing, I know how to read a room pretty well, okay? I can look at one person, look at another person, and be like, oh, they got beat. They don't fuck with each other like that. Or even just the facial expressions, whatever. I know, okay? You're trying to put energy past a bitch who feels energy. It's not gonna work, especially when I bring it up. So with me saying, hey, I'm gonna self-uninvite myself because I could tell I don't want to impose on you and this other person, and I could feel the energy shift. No girl, it's totally okay. We totally want you to come. We just love our sleep. Just making up excuses. Me asking, are you sure? I don't want it to be whatever, and I inviting myself to other people's hangout, and I don't want to do that. So if y'all want it to be just you, let it be. No girl, we totally want you to come. What? But then in the text later on where you and I are talking about the issues, especially me addressing the issues that I have with you, it's the self-inviting for me that personally I have an issue with and I should have addressed it. What are we even talking about right now? Because I'm confused. You sit there and say, no girl, we want you to come with, even though I tried to self-invite myself 2 to 3 times, but it's no, we want you to come. But then in the text later down, it's the self-inviting for me. Okay, cool. Let's go right back up where I also said, hey, I'm gonna self-uninvite myself because I could feel the energy shift and I don't want to play with that. No, there was no energy shift. We're totally good. But then again, in the text later below it, there definitely was an energy shift and I should have brought it up. So you're trying to gaslight me back then when I literally said, hey, I'm not gonna come with. I don't need to. It's okay. No, we want you to come with. But your action, the way that you went about it, are showing me that you don't. I'm so sick of people trying to tell me, no, don't feel that way. Don't feel that way. You're overreacting. You're doing too much. When exactly how I was feeling was exactly how I should have been feeling, because in the end, it showed me that how I was feeling in that fucking moment was exactly how I should be feeling. And I was right. That's what I'd be saying when everybody has their own reality, their own different versions on stuff, but bitch, I got the text messages. So at the end of the day, you can think in your head how you treated me was okay, but the text messages say otherwise. That's why I say so much of the time, you can say you wanted me to go, but your actions were speaking like you didn't even want me to fucking be there. And you couldn't even be honest about it in the first place that you didn't want me to go. I would have went by myself. And this is why I say so many of the times, I go on solo vacations by myself. Do you really think that I have an issue going and doing an activity by myself? No! Just say you don't want me to go. It's not that fucking hard. This is also what I mean by I'm just gonna keep my circle small. I only want to meet genuine people, and like I say so many of the times, I haven't hit my full potential, okay? I know y'all see this hoodie, finger spelling, ASL, that's my life, that's my passion. Those are the people that I'm gonna be around. I don't need to be around people who literally don't give a fuck about me, and like I said so many of the time, will smile in my fucking face, but will go and talk shit about me behind my back. I don't understand, bro. It just genuinely hurts when it feels like all all my friends have betrayed me in some type of aspect. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I didn't contribute to anything of the friendship ending. At the same time, it just feels like so many of my friendships have fallen out because people don't know how to communicate with me and tell me how they really fucking feel. The universe is aligning me to my highest version, and that's all I can say. Whenever I put in a manifestation order to the universe, I know that by putting that order in, it's going to remove everyone and everything from my life that doesn't align to that vibration. Hello? The reality that I desire, where I am living my best fucking life, exists. But certain people cannot be in that reality because it disrupts the flow. And I've said so many of the times, I never think that I'm better than anyone else. We're all just on a different vibration. I know that I'm vibrating higher like this, and you're down here. You can only really bring people down. But when you guys are both, you know, slowly going up and slowly feeding off of each other from the, you know, that's when it's a healthy, good friendship. But when I feel like I'm constantly pouring into my friends and constantly communicating with them, hey, if you have an issue, let me know, but they never let me know, and then they hold that against me. I don't know what you want me to do. I deserve to have people in my life who are going to put me in my place in a respective way. I don't deserve people who are non-confrontational and avoidant because they never want to bring up the issues that they have with me. And it's actually exhausting at this point. At our big ass fucking age, you can't go and tell people how you feel because you want to be a people pleaser and feel like you have to please everybody else. But then at the same time, with you being a people pleaser, you actually end up hurting the person's feelings more because you'd rather go and just care about, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings, and just hurting their feelings and then fixing the issue. Even like you said, I believe if we were able to talk through this, we would be fine, but you didn't want to talk through it. So what the fuck do you even mean by that statement? Sometimes a fallout doesn't need a huge paragraph. At the same time, I'm going to let you know how I feel if you got me fucked up, because what you're not going to do is go and sit there and change the narrative about what happened within the friendship so then you can have it fit your narrative. No, I'm going to exactly tell you how you got me fucked up, so then in the future you can think, damn, maybe I should be able to communicate more, because that's how I fell out with my past friendship. Like I said, with being an empath, I feel energy. Energy never lies. And this is exactly why I also talked about energy in my senior speech, because energy doesn't lie. Energy is never created nor destroyed, only transferred. So the fact that I felt that that negative energy was transferred onto me, knowing that you didn't want me to go, and seeing how the whole relationship fell out in the first place, energy never fucking lies. Please, if you are not black, yet you have black women as friends, please educate yourself when it comes to microaggressions that you could be using against them. I think so many of the times, especially with me being friends with non-black people, and the only person who hasn't had an issue with me is black, aka Abby, I think that senses a pattern of non-black people that I've been friends with who hold this against me and continue to perpetuate the angry black woman stereotype of, I'm scared to come and talk to you, you intimidate me, because what we're not going to do is continue that stereotype. I'm gonna just call this out because I've already said this before to this person. Stop being fucking performative. Stop saying free Palestine. Stop saying Black Lives Matter when you sit here and you can't even boycott for the cause. I've caught you so many times going to Starbucks and McDonald's and I've called you out for it. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? But it's, oh, free Palestine, but just shut up. I'm sick of performative ass fucking people. You're performative online, you're performative at these protests, but in real life, you're sitting here and you're going against what you actually talk about. So shut up and stop being performative. I haven't had McDonald's or Starbucks in over 2 years. We're coming up on October 7th again, and we already know what that feels for the Gazans, okay? October 7th is coming up, and that's gonna be 2 years since this genocide truly started. We already know that it started all the way back then. Y'all know me. I've been talking about this, been speaking on Palestinian issues since I even knew what conflict was basically back then. It's not that hard to boycott. It's not that hard to stand. Look what happens when we actually boycott and come together, but instead, nobody actually cares about the cause. And that's really what I have to say. Yes, I know I can be an opinionated black woman. Yes, I know I can come off overbearing. Yes, I know sometimes it can be hard for people to actually come and tell me how they feel. At the same time, that doesn't negate the fact that you still shouldn't come and tell me how you feel about me. That still doesn't mean that you should rip away my grace from being able to move differently because people have treated me a different way. Give black women grace. They've already been through enough, and we already have enough stereotypes put on us in the first place. I think I've yapped enough, like I say in every single video. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, y'all.